Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2020 Driver Career Mode with Ferrari. Episode number 71 today for the Austrian Grand Prix of Season 5, round number 8. If you have of course missed any of the previous episodes, make me go and check that. There's a link to the playlist in the description below. And subscribe as well if you're new to the channel. I'm currently on 397, so it would be very nice to get to 400 subscribers as soon as possible. I've actually set myself a little target trying to get as close to 500 subscribers before F1 2021 comes out. So if you have not yet subscribed, then please do. It massively helps me out and sustain the channel. But our weight redistribution upgrade, has come in, so that's good. I'm thinking either weight reduction or we go aero. Obviously we've got some aero tracks and then we've also got some sashi tracks, so ultimately it depends on the time frames for those coming. We haven't got enough resource points anyway. I don't think we're going to be focusing on engine because you can see here, just coming up here, a new engine upgrade has just come in. It's a major engine upgrade, so that's going to help us well around Austria, and it puts us quite a little bit away now. We've sort of broken away from Mercedes, but whether or not, of course, we were fastest of paper at both Azerbaijan and Canada, and still we've only managed 4th at Canada. We did win at Baku, but this is I'm worried for the championship. If we don't win today, then Britain and Hungary. Britain I've only managed 7th, and that was a fluke. Okay, I do not have any. My pace is woeful round Silverstone on this game. Hungary as well, we somehow managed this P4 back in season 1. I think we did an alternative strategy, so we might have to do the alternative strategy there. If we qualify outside the top 10, then we got Belgium and Italy. That will be 2 races, the next 2 races after this one, that we'll be aiming to win. But moving to qualifying, then the aim has to be pole. I mean, they haven't taken pole in a career mode episode for 3 years, but so on this channel, it's been quite a long time. It would be quite well, never mind about that. I mean, we're down in P12, typical usual qualifying vibes on F1 2020. I mean, surely they need to take a little look at the if qualifying, because I don't know how the AI can be have this much pace in qualifying, but then during the race pace they're actually worse. So there's definitely a lot of inconsistency there that Codemasters hopefully should sort out for F1 2021. But this is my fastest flying lap, and when it's not great. I mean, Bottas has done a 102, and then we're only in the mid 103. So the car, even though it may be fastest on paper, on track it is still quite a far way off in terms of race pace. We might need to do some aero upgrades to just try and improve the straight line speed of this thing, because it seems to be bogging down potentially in terms of that. Over the line we were approved by only 1.5 tenths, and that's enough only for P13. What a dreadful qualifying again. I mean, it's not even close to our teammates, 6 tenths away. Well, this is going to be tough because Seitz is on pole. He's our main championship rival. We've got Bottas as well, who we're not really interested in. It's going to be a tough race. Can we get good points? We'll have to wait and see. It's time for the race for today's Austrian Grand Prix.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Now let's kick off our conversation with Alexander Albon. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Albon, Kevin Magnussen and Vettel, Norris, Joe, Gasly and Lance Stroll, Leclerc, Giotto, a Ferrari and Kvyat, Ocon, Latifi, George Russell and Antonio Giovinazzi, Matsushita and Nick de Vries. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
I think we can, but it's going to be a tough one. And it's actually, to make this championship interesting, the AI limit has been lowered. So comparing to where we probably will be in Thursday's episode, because we're racing down here for F1 eMod, the AI difference is just shocking. But enough about that. Fight the lights are out and away we go. And initially bogged down, but then they get the better launch in the second half, having to go on the grass there to try and get round the clerk. And it's actually one of the worst starts. We don't close off ERS off overtake coming through turn 1. We're up into P10 though, so we made up 3 positions. We're going to try and dart the inside of Gasly, but Gasly's going to go an aggressive dive. We have to take to the curbing in order to we actually do make contact with Gasly with banging wheels. Lucky not to lose a bit of our front wing plate there as we get past Sebastian Vettel at straight line speed. Now we're going to have a go at Gasly down into turn 4 with he opens up the inside. Thank you very much. And we're up into P6, and it has now been a good start. That's more like it, but I'd have liked to have started with P6 and made positions up, but we haven't done so. You can see that Magnussen, as usual, giving no space to anybody. Vettel as well, unkeen to give any more space to us, considering the fact we've been walking all over him pretty much most of the races this season. As a replay, nice down the inside. Gasly eventually gave us the space. He tried to block him off, and he loses the space actually out to Sebastian Vettel as well. Now we're closing in on Magnussen. We should be a lot faster than the AlphaTauri on paper, but will it actually transfer into any good, actually consistent plate? We're fast. Purple is sector 1. It's an easy overtake on Magnussen. We're up into P5, but the front 4 are they are quite a lot faster. The Red Bulls and Mercedes are a little bit faster, and you can see there that Valtteri Bottas is in the lead, not Sainz, so that's good news for us. Obviously there is quite a big gulf between first and second in terms of the points situations. We jumped to lap 9. We haven't been able to make inroads on the top 4, which is such a shame, because we need to do it in tracks like these where I know that I do have some pace. We've won here before on this game, so we should be able to comfortably be able to control. I know it's not the setup that's causing the issues with the time, so surely there's something else where the car's just not right, or something's not an issue there. We'll actually take out the speed limiter board on the way into the pits. We came in a lap earlier than scheduled because we didn't want to get people to have the undercut like Vettel, our teammate, as one of the Renaults go through. There goes through Albon, and I think Bottas has lost out throughout the pit stop. We've gained on Bottas definitely, because we weren't that close to Bottas coming out of the pits. And there is Magnussen and Vettel closing in there. But obviously the front 4 have changed around. Albon now has the lead from Sainz. So Sainz has stayed put. Verstappen is third on the hard tyre as well for Verstappen. And Bottas is dropped from first to fourth as Charles Leclerc is retiring out of the race with an engine failure. His move to Renault hasn't gone well, and that's going to bring out the safety car. So we've been reset. We've got a second chance of getting a good result here. Can we be saved by the safety car and get on the podium? Can we get ahead of Sainz? Let's find out. 4 laps. Well, there's going to be 3 laps to go at the end of this one. We're very close to Bottas coming out of the final corner, and sort of a bit of a slow getaway. We're going to employ all the ERS that we've got left. We've got a load of rich mix as well that we can use up as well. The engine wear not too bad on those units, but it's a poor exit out of turn 1. So Bottas, Verstappen and co are starting to get away. We're going to have to dive down the inside of Bottas, who's asleep at turn 3. Thank you very much, and up into P4. So I'll definitely take that. It's another position, and that's 2 more points gained. And as it stands, we'll put us back in the lead of the championship on race victories over Sainz. We need to get Verstappen though. We need to take an advantage into Silverstone if it's asleep. We have a look down the inside of Verstappen, but Verstappen closes the door, slams shut in our face, and we have to have another go. But it's not quite going to plan. Bottas is starting to come back at us now. Going to turn 1, DRS has been enabled as we move to the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Bottas has a look around the outside. We close the door, and Verstappen now is starting to move ahead of ourselves. And Bottas, will he have a go through the final few corners? I don't know. But Verstappen there, as we tried to, went very wide through the penultimate corner. Up to the line it is, and it's P4, which you might think is actually it's damage limitation, but it's not what we needed at a track that I'm supposed to be quite good at. Very frustrated as we get hit multiple times. I don't know what my AI is doing there. Yeah, we didn't really have the pace. The pace was there. It's just that the qualifying wasn't. The qualifying was just dreadful. And even then, through the early stages, we really weren't able to catch the top 4. So the safety car, if the safety car hadn't come out, it would have been 5th place, and we'd have lost the lead of the championship. But at the same time, it's frustrating to see that we might have the fastest car on paper, but on the track, it's clearly not the case. And I'm just hoping that when we get to likes of Hungary, that the car can actually perform. We're level on points with Carlos Sainz now. Verstappen he's closed the gap to 24 points. Bottas 34. He's lost points to our, and Albon's now closing in with 2 wins from 2 races. That's the top 5. Vettel some way away, and that's cost us 2nd place now in the constructors to Red Bull as well.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. Interesting result today. Would you say that you're happy with
Things
your
could have gone
performance?
better. If we had a better qualifying, then we could have got a win, I think.
Do you think you were lucky not to end your
Well, we're
race?
not going to answer that one, Claire. You should know that by now. Oh, she's sighed at me again. Anyway, ignoring Claire, our contract is up for a new negotiation. I'm going to tell you now that I'm going to try and renegotiate that with Ferrari. That'll be at the start of next week's episode. Around Britain, we'll have to get that out of the way as soon as possible. So, yes, make sure you subscribe to see that. In terms of R&D wise, I don't know where to go, because the aero clearly needs an upgrade. Even though we're the best team on aero, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like Mercedes and Red Bull, have more pace than us. Whether or not we do whatever upgrade we do, I'm not willing to rush any of those ultimate upgrades, because if they fail, it's going to take another 3. It's going to take twice as long just to get those resource points. So I think we need to I don't know, think about that. Let me know which upgrade you would put on out of the aero. We got 2 ultimate aero upgrades, or 2 or 1 Sashi reduction upgrade. Obviously that's whichever order I do end up putting them on, they'll obviously be then put on as well. But level on points, this is not where I wanted to be. I wanted to have won both Canada and Austria. I set that target when we arrived at Azerbaijan, and we've only won 1 out of the 3 races, which is so annoying. Sainz has now got a streak of being 6 times on the podium and hasn't been below 2nd place, so he is definitely on form in his little driver AI coding universe there. So yes, it's very frustrating. We need a good race at Silverstone, and I don't think it's going to happen, judging my previous pace. So I'll take a look at the setup and see if there's anything I can do there, but I don't get your hopes up. But if you have enjoyed this video, then leave likes, subscribe to the channel if you're new, see plenty more episodes of the F1 2020 Driver Career Mode. As I may or may not have mentioned it already, but there is a Season 6 coming as well, just in time for F1 2021, so make sure you get subscribed for that as well. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.